Hey guys, Grumpy here with a brand new Let's Play called Silent Nights. So this Let's Play is going to focus on bounty hunting. The rules are pretty simple. I'm going to lock myself to a phase only fleet. So Shades, Gremlins, Dooms, you're going to see all those nice ships. On top of that, I'm restricting myself to salvage only. If you're not familiar with salvage only runs, it basically means that you can only keep what you kill. So if I want to add a ship to my fleet, then I have to defeat that ship in combat and then recover it. If I want to add weapons to my ships, I have to recover those from combat. Other than that, trade is allowed, so I can trade for commodities, I can trade for fuel, supplies, crew, things like that, Marines if I need them. And then also hull mods. On Twitch, I did something similar to this where I restricted myself to buying one hull mod per level. I'm not going to get that intense on this Let's Play. I want this to be more so a casual playthrough. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So let's begin. Here's our character, a Tritachyon soldier or crew member, as you can see. His name is Zaroff Saturn, and let's begin on our journey. So here I sold off the ships that I started with and purchased a pirate shade from Jangala. This is going to be the only ship that I purchase. It's just because I wanted to start the game with a phase ship. I could have gone the other way and then fought a phase ship and then collected it, but I feel like that would take too long to get the series started. This will be the only ship that I purchase, the only weapons that I purchase in this way. So besides this, it will be purely salvage only. Anyway, back to the regular episode. Okay. We will be outfitting the Shade with weapons from the station, but after that, every additional weapon that we keep, or every additional weapon that we want, is going to have to be earned through combat. Alright, so let's go ahead and sell these off. And then let's go ahead and refit you. So I'm looking for something specific that we might not get on our first round, which is going to make this quite a bit tougher. But we will take the ion cannon. We'll take a missile. Take the hammer. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go with 2 hammers. No, I want a ballistic. Let's go with the light dual machine gun, and then let's also go with the ion cannon. As far as hull mods go, peak performance time is 180. This will bring us down to 60. In the beginning, we're going to want safety overrides just so that we can get over some of the nerfs to phases, how phasing works. But in the future, we'll want to get rid of safety overrides for something better. And I think that's good enough for now. Let's go ahead and just add in capacitors. Repair our ship. And then sell off the crew, the fuel, and the supplies that we begin with. Oh. Oh. Sell off the heavy machinery, then the supplies. Alright, here we go. So heading over to Echo Breeze, we can ask for a target. So here we have our first bounty, 59,000 credits, huge payout, basically going 1v3 against 2 lashers and a kite. Should be a relatively straightforward fight. We're gonna go ahead and accept that, leave, and head on over there. Alright. So we're gonna go ahead and jump in here, and it says our target is, it just says that they're in this area. So let's fly around, see if we can't spot them. We can do a sensor burst, and we get a little ping over here. So let's see what we get. Here they are. So it is a lasher LP, and then a kite LP, one officer. So if we have to, worst case, we just kill the ship with the officer in it, the flagship of the fleet, and we'll get credit for the bounty. All right, Zaroff on his first bounty mission. All right. So, playing with phase ships, how do they work? Phase ships have no shields. They usually don't have much in the way of armor. Their main form of defense is dropping into phase space. Once they're in phase space, they're basically untouchable. Enemy weapons will fly right through the ship. They exist basically in an extra dimension. Alright, so first things we wanted to do, there are considerations for your phase ships that you don't really worry about with other ships necessarily. So beam weapons, first of all, huge problem. Second thing is high explosives are very deadly to phase ships. And then the next thing is salamanders, and as well as other guided missiles are also very dangerous for phase ships. So let's go ahead and line this up. I'm gonna go ahead and use our special ability here, which is arc emitter. This is the same EMP emitter. This is the same EMP emitter that you can find on the Omen. A very devastating ability. On a short cooldown, does a lot of damage. So we want to make sure that we get rid of the kite first. The reason being is the kite has that salamander, and we want to make sure that that salamander doesn't knock out our engines, because otherwise that can spell lights out for us very quickly. Right, we're gonna phase through that ship, pop out on the other side. All right. We get our second critical malfunction. Really want to make sure that we can get to this kite. There we go. And that's perfect. All right. So out of these two ships, we really want to get rid of this slasher first. This one has the officer in it. So we should be focusing on this one just to complete the mission, but we want to get rid of this because either one of those Reapers, it has a one-shot KO potential. So let's go ahead, back off, see if we can separate the Reapers, or separate the Lashers. Get a critical malfunction, which is nice. The Reapers are still hot though, so we do need to be careful of that. Fire off one harpoon. We get the flame out. One Reaper is disabled, but the other Reaper is still hot. Both Reapers are down. So now we can get really close to the ship. We really want to overload it and then smack it with the remaining harpoon that we have. So we can get right up next to it. Alright. Its light machine guns are online, but we don't really have to worry because its light machine guns are kinetic weapons. What we do need to be careful of are those Reapers, which are now hot. So you have it flamed out. This is a perfect opportunity. We can get behind it, land some really nice shots. with our arc emitter. Alright, boom. And that's all she wrote. And then there was just one. So we're going to want to phase through it. And see if we can't... Ooh. One of our engines went. But basically we want to phase through this ship. See if we can't get behind it. Flame it out. Nice. We got the flame out. And then it should be easy pickings from here. Yeah, we're losing a little bit of combat readiness. I agree. But as long as we can keep it flamed out, then we should be just fine. And that's all she wrote. So a very successful bit of combat there. We did run deep into our combat readiness, and that's going to be a common theme as we play through this series. But taking advantage of some of the capabilities of the phase ships allowed us to win that fight pretty handily, actually. Alright, let's consider ship recovery. We can't recover any of these ships, but we really want to make sure that we get the weapons if they're offered to us. And it looks like we do have an opportunity to get a Reaper, so we're going to recover that. We're going to pick through the wreckage here. We do get the Salamander and the autocannon. That's good. But what we're going to do now is scuttle the Lasher. The reason I'm doing this is because sometimes you don't get the weapon system from the ship. I found that out while testing this series on Twitch a few months ago. So if I do that, I'm not keeping the weapon. I'm sorry, I'm not keeping the ship. I'm just guaranteeing that we get the weapons off of the ship. So because our combat readiness is already 0, we're going to take this opportunity to refit. We're going to upgrade our hammer to a Reaper. And then when we get the opportunity, we're going to purchase expanded missile racks so that we get 2 Reapers instead of just the one that we have. Other than that, that's a pretty nice addition to the ship, and I think a pretty excellent way to start the series off. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the debut of this new Let's Play, Silent Knights. Other than that, Grumpy out. And now I'd like to give a very special thank you to our supporters. At the Explorer tier, Randall Porter, Philip Kallenbach, and Mark. And at the Starfarer tier, Zoni, Wet Noodle, Kriltic, and our newest supporter, Wayfarer S tier. If you would like to support the channel, then becoming a member would be the best way to do so, but it is completely optional. I'll continue to run ad-free content on this channel, but if you do choose to support, it would mean a lot to me. Thank you so much. Other than that, Grumpy out.